loud.
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Age of Extinction First Edition Optimus Prime, or to be a little more precise, Premium Edition Optimus Prime. And there's a little bit of backstory behind that. So I'll get the box in here real quick, just for 1 second. And as you can see, this is the box that comes in with the Japanese writing on it. This is the one that I ordered. And it's pretty much the same box that we got here in the States, with the exception, as you can see here, it says Premium Edition down here. But with the exception of the sticker down here on the bottom of the front, the sticker right here on the bottom side of the box, and this little sticker down here, this is pretty much the exact same box for the first edition figure that we got here in the States. You got the writing is all in English. Like you saw on the front, it says Premium Edition, but here it says First Edition on this side here, and you've got the 15 steps over there. You got a Sword of Judgment, Sentinel Shield over 10 inches tall. All your English writing. So this is pretty much all the same exact box that we got here in the States, just with the 3 stickers in Japanese. And I was hoping that this figure would actually have a premium paint job when I actually got to the figure itself. And it's not the case. This is actually the same exact figure that you get if you just get the regular one on Amazon. But it cost me, I paid about the same as one figure for the other, so it's not like I paid extra for this guy to be imported or anything like that. I paid the same price, so I'm not terribly upset about it. It's still a cool figure. So let's get on with the review itself. This figure is released a few months ago as of the time of this recording. So back in February of 2014 is when this figure was released, and it originally retailed for approximately $60. Here in truck mode, he's approximately 11 inches long and about 5 inches tall at the top of the cab, 5.5 if you want to go to the smokestacks here. Now, the truck mode, as you can see here, we are with the new Western Star truck style that he's got for the new Age of Extinction movie. And I like this. This is a huge truck. I really like this. He's got rubber wheels. It rolls pretty nice, as you can see. And he's pretty detailed all the way around. You've got the chrome grille on the front here. You've got really nice detailed flames all the way around. You've got some silver apps on the tanks and the steps here. Only half of the smokestacks though were painted, and I really wish, and this is the biggest thing that I was kind of hoping for with a premium paint job, would have been for the smokestack to have been painted silver, but not the case. No big deal. That's just something I'm gonna have to take care of myself. Same thing with the hitch for the 5th wheel. I'll probably end up painting that as well, because as you can see, that's just blue. And with the wheels, I'm probably going to paint those silver as well, like I did with the leader class and with the 1-step. So I'll probably end up doing that. But I'm pretty happy with this guy. I really like the way this truck looks. Storage for the weapons, as you can see right here on the bottom. You can click the Sword of Judgment, just kind of clips right in here on the bottom. And then he also comes with the Sentinel Shield, which kind of looks, to me, this kind of looks like the shield that he had in the movie. Here, I'll bring in the one from the leader class. The one from the leader, this is the shield from the leader class figure, and obviously this looks very much so like the one we saw in the movie. We never saw this in the movie, but to me, it kind of looks like this opened up, and kind of for like some kind of a battle mode, like these blades open off to the side, and these would open up, and then it would create this like almost axe with the energy going around it. I don't know. I'm using my imagination here. So anyway, that's what toys are for, using your imagination. And it's just this translucent yellow plastic with the silver paint job. And it's got this peg on the bottom here. So you can peg this right here on the 5th wheel. And you can, again, you guys know me. You guys know this about me. I'm not a fan of plugging in weapons onto vehicles in places where you can see them like that. But it doesn't have to be my thing. If this is your thing, if you enjoy this, well, hey, there you go. There's a place for you to put your shield. As for me, I like to just take it off and set it to the side. So there you go. There's a first edition Optimus in truck mode. And quick comparisons here. We'll bring in the leader class just so you can see the size comparison here. And it's getting difficult to get them both in camera because these figures are kind of big. But there you go. You see the leader class is a little shorter, a little smaller figure than the first edition was. These are both considered to be leader class figures. So first edition obviously quite bigger. One thing I do like about this is that I like about the leader class is that the hitch part is actually longer. As you can see on the first edition one, this looks like it's a little shorter than it is here. And this is actually more realistic to the truck itself, having the hitch part longer. This looks a lot better to me, in my opinion. But, no big deal. I still like this figure a lot. So there's the comparison with the leader class. And since I can't get all three of them in shot, I have to replace one with the other. Here he is with the smash and change one-step Optimus Prime, just so you guys can see the size comparison there. He's very much bigger than this figure here, so there you go. Very cool. Now, transformation. As you saw in the box says that this guy transforms in 15 steps. Now, to be honest with you, the first 2 steps, here's step 1, taking off the shield. Here's step 2, taking off the sword. And honestly, guys, I mean, I understand that they were doing this thing where they want to have fewer steps, and they want to advertise that they have these fewer steps, simpler transformations, because they're trying to get the market back to the kids again. And I totally get that. I really don't think this needed to be a step. This putting the weapons on and off has never been a step, as far as I can recall, in Transformers toy history ever. I can't recall a time where I've looked at the instructions and that was a step. But, hey, there you go. There's step 1 and 2 right there. I took the weapons off. Honestly, I typically to be fair, when I count the steps on this thing, it typically comes out to about 12 for me, because a lot of steps, you know how some of the older figures, when you had a step, it would consist of a couple of moves. For example, if you brought an arm around, you would also unfold the elbow, and that would be that step. Well, in the case of this figure, they made the arm coming around one step and then unfolding the elbow another step. And again, that's one of those things where really that's kind of the same step. It's 2 moves of 1 step, the way I look at it. So anyway, I'm not going to take you step by step the way the instructions show it. I'm just going to go with the basic transformation for this guy. And I'm going to start with what's really should not be the first step, but I want to show you this anyway. I'm going to go ahead and pop the roof of the truck right here. And just go ahead and this is tabbed in right here on the front. You can see the little tabs on the windshield there and there. And that pegs in to these 2 slots right there, right behind the hood of the truck, there and there. There's also these 2 tabs on the back part here. You can see the tab there, and these tabs plug into this top of the sleeper cab right here and over here. But anyway, I want to pop this off because my 10-year-old daughter absolutely loves this. And I know that the comment's been made before, the joke has been made before. It looks like Optimus Prime is driving himself. My 10-year-old daughter absolutely adores this about this figure. Every time I transform him into truck mode, she wants to see Optimus driving himself. And she said that he should have come with a little steering wheel right here, so you can actually make him look like he's driving. So she absolutely loves it. So I just wanted to show you guys that, because that's really super cool. But typically, when I start the transformation, I'm just going to put the roof back up for a sec. When I start the transformation, you come down here to the bottom, and you can see this whole back side of the truck here is pegged in here and here. So go ahead and unpeg that on both sides and just flip the whole part of the truck up. And already I can tell I'm going to have to move this camera up, because this guy's going to get big. So we were here, we went there. Okay, now you're going to bring this roof part up and over, and this guy's going to clip in. You can see these kind of like hook looking pieces right here and here, these 2 tabs. You just push the roof right past those, and that clips in right in place, just like that. That's secure now. Next thing you're going to want to do, here's what I like to do. These are going to be the hips, and I'm just going to go ahead and split this truck in half and bring that front of the truck down just a little bit, just at that angle. That's going to release all these tabs. These are the ones that I've seen a lot of comments been made about how difficult it is getting them back in the truck mode, or how these tabs can be tricky to get all in and whatnot. So just to make things easier, if you bring that down right there, just at that angle. Now these panels are, you're going to pop these off, and these are plugged in with these tabs are plugged into these slots on the side of Optimus's shoulders right there. So go ahead and bring these back. These panels are going to split in half, so you're going to want to split that there as well. Bring the whole panel back, and then these are going to plug in here and here, and that's going to take care of that panel. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. There and there. Very cool. All right. Now, as you can see on the back of Optimus's torso, you can see his arms are right here. You can start, just a lot of shine here. All this chrome. I love this figure. This figure is so beautiful. So, here we go. So, just bring these arms around, and as you can see, there's a tab there that's going to plug into that slot there. So, go ahead and just plug the shoulders in, one on each side. At this point, before I bring the arms down, let me bring you around the back here and show you this. Now, you can see that there are 2 tabs here and 2 slots there. So you're going to want to bring Optimus's torso on this double hinge here, bring him all the way back, and plug him right into that back panel. There you go. Now you can bring the arms down now. You can bring them down later. It's really up to you. It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. So we're just going to bring them down now. Go ahead and separate the legs, and then you can bring them down all the way. Now, here's the thing about the legs. The legs, when they're plugged in like this, when you go back to truck mode, make sure you get this tab plugged back in. And here's the thing about the legs. When he's in the sitting position, they can come together all the way. When you bring it all the way down, this part of the crotch, I'm going to call it, this part of the crotch is actually going to push these thighs apart. So when you're transforming him back in the truck mode, you want to get him at least a couple of clicks towards the sitting position before you try to clip these together. Otherwise, you're going to be putting stress on the part. So same thing when you're going in the robot mode. While you're still somewhere between here and here, go ahead and split these now before you bring the legs all the way down. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and take this, these front pieces of the cab here. Go ahead and pull this off, pull this straight up, just like that. And do the same thing on the other side. Now, the side and the side of the hood here and the door, these pieces are going to rotate in, just like that. And then, if you come around the back to see better, these pieces are just going to come all the way in. They're going to hinge into the grill, and the grill is going to go into the inside of the shin. And these guys are going to tab right in there and going to hold secure. And we're pretty much done at this point. Just straighten them out. Another thing, this is another, according to the instructions, this was another step is to bring this down, but that's kind of obvious. Here's one thing that should have been on the instructions and is not. The feet are tabbed in on this onto the side of the bumper here. So you want to untab these here, and you can see the little tab there. And I don't know if I can get this on camera. There's a slot right in there. This is important for truck mode. I've seen a lot of people when they're showing this in truck mode. You can see that grill, it doesn't quite snap together. The hood looks like it's pushing apart from each other. And this is typically the reason why. You want to make sure that you get these feet into those slots and rotate it back up on both sides, just like that. And you can hear that snap there and there. And you want to make sure you get that done before you go into the truck mode. And that's one thing that is not in the instructions, and it should have been there. So, you know, they spent so much time telling you to take the weapons apart, which is obvious, and telling you to put this down, and they didn't tell you to snap the feet. So anyway, there is first edition Optimus Prime in robot mode, and I think this guy looks awesome. Here in robot mode, he stands approximately 11 inches tall. And I know that a lot of people have made complaints about the backpack. And true, he's got a backpack. You know, he's got quite a bit of a backpack. But to be honest, in my opinion, we've had plenty of Optimus Primes. And we've had plenty of Optimus Primes with backpacks. And we have had backpacks that were much bigger and much worse than this. So, honestly, I give it a pass. Out of the two this one in the leader class. Obviously, the leader class has a smaller, more contained backpack. This has a bigger backpack, so I would give it to the leader class in the case of these two. But seriously, guys, this is not the worst backpack we've seen on a Prime. It really isn't. So I don't mind it all that much. Coming around the back here, here's one thing. If I could change one thing on this figure, it would have been this. And this is, and I made the same point with the leader class. These tanks that are just hanging down here along his backpack and just right next to the legs. This is kibble. This is just hanging there and it's kind of in the way. I really would have liked to have seen maybe to have some sort of a hinge here where you can flip these up, and that would have been cool because that could have even gone into covering up these wheels, or to have some kind of a slot where they could slide up. Anything like that, I would have loved to have seen something like that on here, and then they could have made the arms one step or not make the weapons one step, and still they could have kept this guy under 15 steps. But so if I could change anything, I would change that on this figure. Somehow make these flip up or slide up or something like that. Other than that, we're going all the way around the figure here, as you can see. Very shiny, very chromy. I really love the way this Prime looks. As far as articulation goes, the head is on a rotation. You can go, you could go all the way around. However, his chin does hit the sides of his armor, of his shoulder armor there. So I would probably recommend against trying to spin his head all the way around, because you're probably going to end up doing some damage to his chin piece or the chrome on the shoulder pieces there. So I just recommend against that, trying to spin his head around. Unfortunately, it's not on a ball joint, so you can't make the head go up and down. That's unfortunate, but you can go side to side. Shoulders, you got I love the shoulder pauldrons. These are actually more movie accurate out of all the figures so far. These are the more accurate of the shoulder pauldrons. On the leader class, you've got the top of the truck that becomes the shoulder pauldrons, and that's really kind of the one thing on the robot mode that I don't like about that. That just those big shoulder pauldrons hanging off the side. I like these smaller, more contained ones better. I really love the way these shoulder pauldrons look, and you can tilt these up to get them out of the way for articulation. You've got rotation on the shoulder that could go all the way around if it wasn't hindered by the backpack. And you've also got in and out, nice click on the shoulder. You've got about 3 or 4 clicks from here to there, and once you get to that point, you can move from here to here without a click, although mine is squeaking. It does have a little bit of a squeak. You've got a rotation right here, right above the elbow, which is nice. You've got a full rotation on the, you got a double hinge, rather, on the elbow there, and that's because of transformation, because you got to fold the arm up like that to put that away. So you got a good rotation at the elbow there. Sadly, no wrist rotation, and this figure really could have used a wrist rotation, because it is possible to get some nice dynamic poses with this figure, but then they are kind of hindered because of not having that wrist rotation. It's a bit of a shame. Let's see, waist, no waist rotation, but he does have universals at the hips here, so we can go in and out. And we can go forward, and we would be able to go backwards if it wasn't for that. Why didn't they make a hinge for this? They should have made a hinge. Oh well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. So we can go forward. We got a good bend at the knee there, and we've also got the feet are actually on a ball joint, so they've got some, they've got some side to side swing there, and you've got some up and down, so you can actually get some stances out of him, and the feet are going to cooperate. So that's nice. Like I said, I like this figure. I don't know what else to say. I really like it. I like the chrome on it. Again, I was kind of wishing for a more premium paint job on this guy, meaning the arms. I really wish the arms had silver instead of gray on them. The chrome all over his body, I can take it or leave it. If it's there, hey, cool. I'm not one of those guys that complains about all the chrome. It's there and it looks nice, but I do wish that they would have made this gray plastic. If they would have given it a silver paint job, much like if you see here on the shins, And even, you know, even if you look back here on these steps and these steps down here and the gas tanks and whatnot, that's a really nice silver paint job. And I would have liked to have seen that on his arms and his fists there. Just, that looks like it would have matched a little more with the chrome and made for a better paint job, as well as the smokestacks too. You know, silver paint job on the smokestacks and the arms, I think would have made for an awesome looking figure there. So let's bring the weapons in. He's got his Sword of Justice right there, which is very much like all these swords that he's had before. Here's the sword from the Smash and Change figure, and as you can see, they're pretty much the same exact thing. The only difference is that this one is molded in this translucent yellow plastic, but even down to the peg on the side there, they're pretty much the same exact thing. This one's all silver. This one's yellow. Let's get the one from the Leader Class Prime as well. Let's compare that guy as well. And I know the one from the Leader Prime is a little different. It's a little shorter, as you can see there. You know, the hilts are at the same level. Blades are a little shorter. And there's no side peg on this one. But this one also done in that translucent yellow plastic. And it's got the nice paint job down here for the hilt and whatnot. So there's a comparison for all the swords. Now this guy can go right into his fist. Either fist, you can put it on either side. And you're going to want to push it all the way down. If you leave it here, it's going to be kind of loose. So you're going to want to push that all the way down. There you go. And then bring in his shield. And his shield is going to peg in right here on this peg on the side of his arm. Peg that guy in right there. And there is Optimus Prime with his Sword of Justice and his Sentinel shield, all ready to ride some Dinobots into combat and rip off your face or slice off your face or pound out for your face, whatever. We all know movie Optimus Prime is a psychopath, right? We're all aware of that. Now, for comparison, here he is next to the previous, or not really the previous, I guess for me it's previous because I reviewed him first, but the Leader Class Optimus Prime that came out right after him. And as you can see, the first edition is quite a bit bigger than the Leader Class figure. So that's something else. They look pretty good together. I really like all the chromey bits on both of them. And here is the smash. Look at me. My mouth decided to quit working. Here is the Smash and Change Optimus Prime figure, the one-step smash and change. And let's see. Let's maybe turn that way. We can maybe get all three of these in the same shot. Yeah, there we go. That looks awesome. I really like the way that looks. And as you can see, Smash and Change is kind of somewhere in between these two guys here. And it looks like the leader is the shorter of the three. Look at that. That's something else. But if you remember my review of this guy, I've actually done some painting on him. I've done a lot of silver details on the truck mode and on the robot mode, and it's actually made him pop quite a bit. I want to do some red for the arms and some red down here on the legs, on the bottom tips of the legs, and this little part here needs to be painted blue. But I need to get my airbrush going before I tackle all of that. But so far, just the silver details alone has really made him pop. It doesn't just look like a blue block. But anyway, this review is not about him. He's already had his time in the limelight. And so have you, sir. So both of you out of here. And we're going to concentrate one last time on our first edition guy here. Guys, I really like this figure, but you guys know me. I'm the Optimus Prime collector. I love all my Optimus Primes. I can see the complaints, with the backpack. You know what? I'll bring in the leader once again, because you can see, just looking from the front, the leader does a better job of consolidating that backpack and kind of hiding it away. When you look at him from the side, obviously it's all there. But the leader has a bit of a smaller backpack than the first edition one does. The first edition is quite a bit bulkier. I don't mind it as much. Like I said, I've seen. We've had worse. We've had worse backpacks on Transformers, and we've certainly had worse backpacks on Optimus Primes, and we're going to get to those eventually. But if the backpack is a thing that bothers you, then probably go with the leader class. He's easier to get, easier access. You can just go to the store and pick him up there, and he is cheaper than this guy. So if that's your thing, if that really bugs you, or all the silver, all the chrome bothers some people. And I'm not going to say one way or the other. I like it, but if you're one of those people, the chrome bothers you and the giant backpack bothers you, then perhaps go with the leader one. He's easier to get and cheaper. But if you like what you see here, you can get this guy online, either the American version or the Japanese version. It doesn't really matter. You're getting the exact same tone with the exact same paint job, and you're going to pay about the same price for either. So I love them. I really love them, and I think that about covers Age of Extinction First Edition Optimus Prime. Please leave me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I will talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.